There is a pot of water sitting on a smooth black surface. You press a button, hear a quiet click, and wait. A few minutes later, the water begins to tremble, then bubble, then boil. But nothing underneath it looks hot. There is no flame around the metal, no red coil glowing in the dark, no sense that the stove itself is burning the way a stove is supposed to burn. That is induction's strange trick. The cooktop can look calmer, cooler, almost less active than an ordinary stove, yet water may boil faster. So where is the heat actually coming from? To understand that, we have to stop thinking of induction as a hotter stove and start seeing it as a stove that changes where heat is born. Let's get into it right here on Secrets of Simple Things. The misunderstanding about modern stoves. Most people place induction beside electric stoves in their minds. It has a glass surface, uses electricity, and has buttons instead of flames, so it feels like a cleaner version of something familiar. But that is the misunderstanding. A gas stove makes fire, and the fire heats the pot. A traditional electric stove heats a burner, and that hot surface passes heat into the cookware. Induction does not follow that path. It does not make the glass extremely hot and then push heat upward. It creates a rapidly changing magnetic field beneath the surface. When the right kind of pot sits above it, that field reaches into the metal and makes the bottom of the pot heat itself. The surprising part is not that induction uses electricity. The surprising part is that the stove is not really the thing getting hot first. And this idea did not begin in a kitchen. It began with a discovery from almost 2 centuries ago. A 200-year-old discovery. Induction cooking feels modern, but the principle behind it is old. In 1831, the physicist Michael Faraday showed that a changing magnetic field could create an electric current inside a conductor. Today, we call that electromagnetic induction. At the time, this was not a kitchen story. Faraday's discovery belonged to laboratories, generators, motors, and factories. It helped explain how electricity could be produced and turned into useful work. For a long time, induction heating stayed far away from home cooking. It was useful in industry, especially when metal needed to be heated quickly and precisely. Commercial induction cooktops appeared around the 1970s, but they were still unusual and costly. Only later, as electronics improved and materials became cheaper, did induction move into ordinary homes. So under that quiet glass surface is not just a modern appliance, it is a 19th century discovery, finally resting beneath an everyday pot. But the real story is what happens between the glass and the bottom of the pan. The pot becomes the heating element. Under the smooth glass of an induction cooktop, there is a coil of copper wire. It does not burn like a flame or glow like an electric ring. But when the stove turns on, electricity moves through that coil. This is alternating current, which means the flow of electricity keeps changing direction. Because the current keeps changing, the magnetic field around the coil keeps changing too. That invisible field rises through the glass. On its own, that field is not heat. If there is no suitable pot on top, the cooktop has little to work with. The trick begins when the right kind of metal enters the field. Place a magnetic pan on the surface, and the changing magnetic field passes into the metal at the bottom. Inside that metal, it creates tiny looping electric currents called eddy currents. They are not visible. They do not spark. They simply move through the cookware. But metal resists electric current, and that resistance turns electrical energy into heat. That is the key difference. The stove is not throwing heat into the pot in the old way. The glass is not secretly becoming a burning hot plate. Instead, the base of the pan becomes the place where heat is produced. Induction cooking works because the pan is not just receiving heat, it is helping create it. Without the correct metal, the magnetic field has nothing useful to work with. But with the right pan, the cookware becomes its own heating element. Once you understand that, one of induction's strangest features suddenly makes sense. The glass surface can stay surprisingly cool. Why the glass does not burn like a burner. This is why an induction cooktop can feel so unusual. The water is boiling, the pan is hot. But the black glass underneath does not behave like a normal burner. The glass is not the main source of heat. It is more like a window the magnetic field passes through. When the surface becomes warm after cooking, that heat is mostly coming back down from the pan. That small difference changes cooking. With no open flame, there is less exposed heat in the kitchen. Spills are also less likely to burn instantly onto a blazing hot surface. But there is a catch. If the stove needs the pot to help make the heat, then not every pot can join the process. Why some pots refuse to work. Anyone who has used an induction stove may have seen this happen. You place a pot on the cooktop, press the button, and wait for heat. Instead, the stove flashes, beeps, or refuses to warm up. Often, the problem is not the stove. It is the pot. Induction depends on a magnetic relationship between the cooktop and the cookware. Cast iron works very well. Many stainless steel pans also work, especially with a magnetic layer in the base. But aluminum, copper, glass, and ceramic usually do not work directly. This is where the word ferromagnetic matters. It means the material can be magnetized, or, in everyday terms, a magnet can stick to it. A simple test is to place a small magnet against the bottom of the pot. If it sticks firmly, the pot will probably work. On an induction stove, the pan is not passive. It has to be the right kind of metal to complete the trick. And when the right pan is in place, the advantage becomes obvious almost immediately. Why water boils so fast? On a gas stove, heat does not move neatly into the pot. Some flame touches the base, but some heat escapes around the sides, warming the air and even the handle. An electric stove has another delay. The burner must heat up first, and only then does that heat pass into the cookware. Induction skips much of that waiting. Because heat is created directly in the metal at the bottom of the pan, less energy is wasted on heating the wrong things. The cooktop does not need to become a blazing hot plate first. That is why water can seem to boil so quickly on induction. The energy is delivered closer to where it is needed. Over time, that efficiency can also mean lower energy use depending on the stove, cookware, and cooking habits. It is fast, not because it is simply more powerful, but because it wastes less time heating the wrong thing. That same directness also changes something cooks care about even more than speed: control. Heat that listens quickly. With a gas stove, control feels visible. The flame grows taller or smaller. With a traditional electric stove, control is slower. You lower the setting, but the burner may stay hot for a while. Induction responds differently. Because the pan itself is where heat is produced, changing the power changes the heat almost immediately. That helps when melting chocolate, keeping a sauce at a gentle simmer, or stopping water before it boils over. The same design also brings safety advantages. Many induction cooktops will not heat unless a suitable pan is present. Some shut off automatically when the pan is removed. And because there is no open flame, one major source of kitchen fire risk is reduced. But safer does not mean careless. The pan can still become extremely hot, and the glass can still warm from contact with it. Every clever design has a trade-off, and induction cooking has a few that are easy to overlook. The price of a smarter stove. Induction is not a perfect replacement for every kitchen. The first limitation is cookware. If your pots and pans do not have a magnetic base, they may not work at all. That can turn a new stove into a bigger purchase than expected. The second limitation is cost. Induction stoves have become more common and more affordable, but they can still cost more upfront than many basic gas or electric options. The third limitation is habit. Because induction responds so quickly, it can change the rhythm of cooking. A dish you once cooked by watching the flame may need different timing. A simmer may need a lower setting. So induction is not a perfect future that replaces everything overnight. It is a smart solution, but it comes with specific conditions. Still, even with those limitations, induction changes the way we think about one of the oldest human acts: cooking with heat. The future, hidden in a simple boiling pot. At the beginning, all we had was a simple scene, a pot of water boiling on a flat black surface with no visible flame. But behind that ordinary moment is a chain of hidden ideas. Faraday's discovery, electromagnetic induction, a copper coil beneath the glass, a magnetic field changing too quickly to see, and tiny currents moving inside the metal. That is what makes induction cooking so interesting. It is not just faster or cleaner, it is a different way of thinking about where heat should begin. Sometimes the best technology does not make an everyday object look more complicated. It hides the complicated parts so well that the object seems almost too simple. The next time water boils on an induction stove with no flame in sight, it may look like nothing special. But under that quiet glass surface, a 200-year-old idea is still doing its work. And that is the strange beauty of simple things. The more ordinary they look, the more they may be hiding. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden science of everyday objects, subscribe to Secrets of Simple Things. And if there is another simple thing you want us to uncover, leave your suggestion in the comments.